All right, let's dive into something that's been bubbling under the surface in the world of finance, something that's reshaping how we think about leadership and innovation in asset management. Today, we're talking about the evolving role of CIOs in public pensions and how AI and delegation are pushing traditional consultants into the background. But here's the twist. We're also going to explore how this ties into the broader challenge of balancing innovation with tradition, using Invesco's CEO, Andrew Schlossberg, as a case study. So, buckle up. This is going to be a ride through the future of finance, with a few personal reflections along the way. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the role of the CIO in public pensions. Personally, I think what makes this really interesting is how quickly the landscape is shifting. Traditionally, CIOs relied heavily on consultants for everything from asset allocation to risk management. But now, with AI and advanced delegation models, CIOs are taking more control. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about technology replacing humans, it's about empowering leaders to make more strategic decisions. From my perspective, this shift is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives CIOs more autonomy. On the other, it raises the stakes for their decision-making. If you take a step back and think about it, this trend is part of a bigger movement toward decentralization in finance, where middlemen are increasingly being cut out of the equation. Now, let's connect this to Invesco's story. When Andrew Schlossberg took the helm, he was handed a massive challenge: modernize a nearly century-old firm without losing its identity. What makes this really fascinating is the delicate balance he had to strike. In my opinion, the key here isn't just about adopting new tech or processes, it's about preserving the institutional knowledge that makes Invesco, well, Invesco. One thing that immediately stands out is how Schlossberg approached this. He didn't just bring in AI or automation, he focused on blending innovation with tradition. What this really suggests is that the future of asset management isn't about radical disruption, it's about thoughtful evolution. A detail I find fascinating is how this mirrors the CIO trend we just discussed. Both are about leveraging new tools while staying true to core principles. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. As CIOs take on more responsibility and consultants step back, the role of asset managers like Invesco becomes even more critical. Personally, I think this raises a deeper question. Are asset managers the next consultants? Or are they becoming something entirely new? What many people don't realize is that this shift could fundamentally alter the power dynamics in finance. If CIOs are making more decisions in-house, where does that leave firms like Invesco? In my opinion, it's not about competition, it's about collaboration. Asset managers have the expertise to guide CIOs through this new landscape, but only if they adapt their own models. From my perspective, this is where Schlossberg's approach becomes a blueprint. By balancing innovation with tradition, he's positioning Invesco as a partner, not just a service provider. Now, let's zoom out for a second. What this really suggests is that the entire financial ecosystem is undergoing a quiet revolution. AI, delegation, and the push for autonomy are reshaping roles across the board. What makes this really interesting is how interconnected these trends are. The CIOs gaining independence, the consultants stepping back, the asset managers evolving, it's all part of the same story. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about finance, it's about how industries adapt to technological change. In my opinion, the real lesson here is that innovation isn't about throwing out the old, it's about integrating the new in a way that honors the past. So, where does this leave us? Personally, I think the future of finance is going to be defined by leaders who can navigate this balance. Whether you're a CIO, a consultant, or an asset manager, the ability to evolve without losing your soul is going to be the key differentiator. What this really suggests is that the next decade is going to be fascinating to watch. As for me, I'll be here, analyzing the trends and sharing my thoughts. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about this shift? Is it a step forward, or are we losing something valuable in the process? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and stay curious.